Over the past month, Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes have halved in price, and this set is still overpriced. We've only got ourselves to blame for the prices that Hidden Fates can demand. Hidden Fates is a great set. It's legit the best post-WotC set that Pokemon has ever seen. But for a set that's still in print, the price of Hidden Fates is absolutely ridiculous, and it's your fault. And by your, I mean our fault, the collective your, because as collectors, we have let this price increase happen, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about what has caused this price increase, why it's our fault, and if it's too late to prevent this. So let's get ready, shreddy, and go straight into today's video.
Are you ready for shreddy?
So welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon Card Classic, guys, with the jacked, stacked, serial thriller of Pokemon cards, Shreddy. So guys, over the past, I want to say 2 weeks, you might have noticed a lot of Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes popping up on eBay and popping up on Facebook for what is literally half the price of what they were going for like this time last month. The average cost for ETBs at the minute is around £90 over here in the UK, which is still around £38 over the RRP of £52.50. So over the past 2-3 weeks, we've seen a huge price drop on the Pokemon Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes, but they're still overpriced. And not only are scalpers and the secondary market selling ETBs for around that £90 mark, like I say, almost £40 over the recommended retail price, we're seeing actual legit businesses and e-commerce retailers selling these Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes for no cheaper than £70, £80, £90. Off the top of my head, the website Magic Madhouse is selling these for like $69.99, something like that. Almost 20 quid over the RRP. Then we obviously have the scalpers, the flippers, selling on eBay and selling on Facebook groups. And the price that's kind of established for these boxes now is on average around £90. Sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more. But to get your hands on an ETB, a quick deal just like that, you're going to be paying £90. £40 over RRP for a set that is only 2 years old and is still in print. Why? Why are these prices this much? Well, let me tell you something, brother. When the prices are roaring, the scalpers are whoring. All the product, brother. The prices are £90 because you have let them get to £90. When I say you, I mean we. But I want to exclude myself from that we because Shreddy ain't paying no scalpers prices for a product that is still in print. What do I mean by this? Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes have had this price drop, and there's a lot more demand at the minute because retailers have just got their stock allocation and just got their orders from the pre-orders that went up around September, October time last year. Because the stock is now just hitting those stores and being sent out to people, we're seeing a lot more flooding the secondary market. Because there's now an abundance of them on the secondary market, that price has dropped considerably from what they were a month ago. So how have these retailers been able to get more stock, and how have the scalpers been able to get it? Well, the answer is pretty simple. The set is still in print. Pokemon Hidden Fates is still in print. Let me say that one more time, brother. Pokemon Hidden Fates is still in print in 2021. How do I know this? Because Pokemon announced last year that they were reprinting Hidden Fates. There was another wave of tins. Since then, there's been yet another wave of tins with different packaging on the tins, or the outside of the tins. The shrink wrap is now different. The Elite Trainer boxes went up for pre-order last year. They've now just hit all the retailers. The set is still in print. It's just taken time because of the demand for the product and because of the pandemic, the worldwide pandemic that we're facing, that's not just affecting Pokemon cards, but legit every business out there in every industry. There's obviously a little bit of a lag, and there's a little bit of a delay, and there's a little bit of a struggle being able to, print these cards off so that the supply can meet the demand that there is at the minute. But because these products are hard to get hold of, and when I say hard to get hold of, I mean not being printed for a while, we were having to wait for more stock to come. Those who have stock are able to sell it to those who want the product without being able to wait. Now, the reason this price increase has happened is because those collectors who don't want to wait for it to come back in stock are so desperate to be able to just get their hands on some product and be able to open it that they are then bidding against each other and driving that price up. As a community or as a collector ship, kind of like Frodo and Bilbo, anybody who wants to get this product is willing to just kind of outbid each other. And then we've arrived at this price point of around £90, and that is now just what people seem to accept. A month ago, people were accepting paying way more than this, but because there's been a new wave hit the supply chain, there's been a new wave hit for retailers, it's now just kind of reset that price a little bit. But this could have been our chance to just, you know, not overpay for these boxes on the secondary market and only pay the retail value. So here's an example, and this is something I see in the Facebook groups all the time. Somebody will post a vintage Pokemon card with an insane price, but that insane price is actually the market value for the card. What I mean by market value is it is the kind of established average price for what people are willing to pay for that card. A lot of these Facebook groups have a lot more modern collectors in who maybe aren't as clued up or aren't cash rich to be able to pay for these vintage expensive cards. So the person who is posting the market value card at the market value price kind of gets laughed at. It doesn't sell on Facebook, so that seller then moves over to Instagram or eBay and sells the cards. So if as a community, we thought to ourselves, okay, if we see anybody selling a Hidden Fates tin for, let's say, more than £60, because, you know, there's the cost of postage with the item as well. If we just outright refuse to pay more than, say, £60, it could be £70, it could be £55, but we're going to go with 60. If we, as a community, refuse to pay more than £60, guess what's going to happen? That scalper, that seller, is then going to have to bring his price down to shift the product. Because remember, most of these scalpers and flippers, they're not Pokemon fans. They just want to get the product in, get rid of the product, get the profit, and move on. But if they kind of are sat on, I don't know, let's say a case, 2 cases, 10 cases of products, that could be anywhere between potentially, you know, 600, 6,000, even more in terms of money, pounds, dollars, whatever. That little panic mode might set in. They don't want to be sat on all this, you know, box Pokemon product. They just want the cash back in their banks. So they're going to have to start to bring their price down to be able to sell it on. But what has actually happened is the price, which was, you know, way into the 140, 50 and more, the price has gone from that down to £90, and as a community, we've just accepted it. So then, once the secondary market has established that price, then what happens? Those £52.50 RRP Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes then start creeping up on actual retail sites to the £60 mark, the £70 mark, the £80 mark. And the excuse that these retailers are going to give is, well, we don't want the scalpers to win, so we're going to charge you more money so you don't end up paying the scalper. But what's actually happening is the retailer is then charging scalp prices. So you, as the consumer, are paying way over the odds for a product that is only hard to get hold of because of what's going on in the world right now. If you can be patient enough, you don't have to pay these prices. I never opened my first Hidden Fates Elite Trainer box until about a week ago because first time round, I missed out. I refused to pay the scalper prices and refused to pay, you know, double and triple what a Elite Trainer box should actually cost. For a set that is still in print, I waited, and then when the pre-orders went up last year, I managed to pre-order myself some Elite Trainer boxes. I would understand this price increase if Hidden Fates had stopped being printed, but guys, that is not the case at all, and anybody telling you that Hidden Fates is out of print is lying. We're still seeing more and more tins hitting, you know, retailers very frequently at the minute. The Elite Trainer boxes, fair enough, it's not as often, but we have just seen a massive restock recently. Tins are still coming in fairly regularly. So as a community, the only way we can stop these prices is by refusing to pay those secondary market prices. But what is the practicality of this? Is that going to happen? In all honesty, probably is not, because you're always going to have people out there who are just, you know, now going through the eBay solds, seeing that as £90, so they're just paying £90. You're going to have people who just cannot wait and will pay that price. And that's on them. If they want to do that, if they feel happy doing that, that's fine. That's their money. That's their prerogative. I'm not here to knock them for that. But what I am saying is, I think it is crazy to be paying way over the odds for a set that is still in print. And if you're patient enough, you'll be able to get it for those RRP prices. Like I say, my first Elite Trainer box, I never opened until last week, 2021. The set released in 2019, yeah, that's a hell of a wait, but I would much rather do that, save the money, than pay those over the odds prices. Another reason why the set is overpriced currently, and that's purely because of this secondary market, is if you look at the price of raw cards and single cards, those prices ain't going up. If anything, the prices of the individual and single cards are actually coming down a little bit, or at best, maintaining. So guys, bottom line, if you do not want to pay those scalper prices, just refuse to pay it. It is easier said than done, but in all honesty, at the moment, even with this massive price slash that we've seen on the Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes over the past week or two, Hidden Fates is still currently an overpriced set. Now, I don't want to confuse that and say it's overrated, because in my opinion, it isn't. It's an absolutely great set. Genuinely, I think it's the best post-WotC set of Pokemon cards that we've got. Absolutely lashes Shining Fates all over. There's no comparison. I just want to stress that for a set that is still in print, the price of the product, sealed product, is just too expensive, and it's our fault for letting that happen. What do you think? Are you somebody who would pay over the odds to get product quickly, or would you rather wait and be patient like I would and get the product for the RRP when it comes back in stock? Let me know down in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, then right here, I've got a video talking about, is Pokemon too expensive to enjoy at the minute? And if you want to see that Hidden Fate Elite Trainer box that I mentioned opened, you can click here to see that. If you've made it this far, guys, then please do mega punch that thumbs up button, subscribe for all of my future Pokemon Card Classic videos, where I tell you how to save money and make money with Pokemon cards, show off my collection and give you retrospectives of Pokemon. But until next time, remember that collecting ain't no gimmick, it's a lifestyle.